Welcome everyone to Advent of Code Day 9 2023. We are just now getting started. It is a little after midnight. We're gonna jump right in. Mirage Maintenance. You ride the camel through the sandstorm and stop where the ghost's maps told you to stop. The sandstorm subsequently subsides. Oh, that's a tongue twister. The sandstorm subsequently subsides, somehow seeing you standing at an oasis. The camel goes to get some water and you stretch your neck. As you look up, you discover what must be yet another giant floating island. This one made of metal. This must be where the parts to fix the sand machines come from. There is even a hang glider partially buried in the sand here. Once the sun rises and heats up the sand, you might be able to use the glider and the hot air to get all the way up to the metal island. While you wait for the sun to rise, you admire the oasis hidden here in the middle of the desert island. It must have a delicate ecosystem. You might as well take some ecological readings while you wait. Maybe you can report an environmental instability you find to someone so the oasis can be around for the next sandstorm or traveler. You pull out your handy oasis and sand instability sensor and analyze your surroundings. The oasis, oh god, produces a report of many values and how they are changing over time. Each line in the report contains the history of a single value. For example, big box numbers. Oh, I don't like this. I don't know what this is, but I don't like it. To best protect the oasis, your environmental report should include a prediction of the next value in each history. To do this, start by making a new sequence from the difference at each step of your history. If that sequence is not all zeros, repeat this process. Using the sequence you just generated as the input sequence, once all the values in the latest sequence are zeros, you can extrapolate what the next value of the original history should be. In the above dataset, the first history is 03691215. Because this value increases by 3 each step, the first sequence of differences that you generate will be all threes. Note that this sequence has one fewer value than the input sequence because at each step it considers 2 numbers from the input, so the spaces versus bars. Since the values aren't all 0, repeat this process. The values differ by 0 at each step, so the next sequence is 0. This means you have enough information to extrapolate the history. Visually, these sequences can be arranged like this. Okay, good. To extrapolate, start by adding a new 0 to the end of your list of zeros. Because the zeros represent differences between the values above them, this also means that there is now a placeholder in every sequence above it. You can then start filling in the placeholders from the bottom up. A needs to be the value of increasing. A needs to be the results of increasing 3, the value to its left by 0. The value then must be 3. Finally, you can fill in B, which needs to be the results of increasing. Okay, so increase by 3. So the next value is 18. Finding all 0 differences for the second history requires an additional sequence. Then following the same process before, you work out. Okay. The next value is that. Okay. If you find the next value for each history in this example and add them up, you get 114. Analyze your oasis report and extrapolate the next value for each history. Okay, let's take a look and see what our puzzle input looks like. Oh, it's got negatives too. Goodness gracious. Okay. So we need to create sequences of differences. And then take the last element. So we append a 0. Take that 0. Add it to the last element of the previous, and then append that value. and then add that to the last element of the net previous before that. I'm gonna pin that, and then just keep doing that over and over. The question is the process of building these sequences, is this slow? Do I need to be smart about this? Because these look long. Like this is like, I don't know, 20 numbers. So I'm not sure if brute force will work per se. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we have that. For item in text. Item. No. Not splot. Split. Okay, that is parsed. So let's look at this, and then we could, let's see. Differences is that for IV in numbers dot, or is it enumerate numbers? Okay. Print numbers at +1 minus print numbers at I -1. No, not print. Just minus numbers. And then this is going to cause an issue with the end. It's also going to cause an issue with the fact that when do I want to make these ends? I think here. Int x for x in. Perfect. Yeah, we're gonna get it out of range. Or this should just be I, but we're still gonna get it out of range here. How about we just do for I in range? Then numbers -1. So we could do how about we let's just make this a function. len nums -1 differences dot append nums at I +1 minus nums at I. Return differences. And then we could print find differences at num sequence at 0. Cool. So then we have what? Do this. Trying to think of how to do the loop. So it's going to be a while loop. But how about we just make a flag? While not done. Numbers difference equals find differences at numbers difference set dot append differences if some differences is not equal to 0, or if it is equal to 0. And you have a list of all zeros. Where's my equals key? There it is. Done equals true. Print different set. Infinite loop? Question mark. Oh, I'm not moving to the next thing. Numbers equals differences. There we go. Okay, so that seems to be working. Then we say what? For I in a range, len difference set, but I want to go backwards. Should only be two things in here, right? Yeah. Let me think for a moment. I want to append a 0 to this. And then ask the question, what? Okay, so different set dot insert numbers at 0. Sequence. This cannot be interpreted as an integer. Is it index first? Yes. Different set at -1 dot append 0. This grabs the last element of each of those things. Okay, so difference set at I -1 dot append different set at I -1 -1 plus last num. That seems to be right. Okay. Let's see. Def find history nums come on. I think no, that's not what I want. Numbers equals nums. Different set dot insert nums. Return different set at 0 -1. Print find history number sequence at 0. Or for I in range len number sequence, print find history number sequence at I 182868. Answer equals 0. Answer plus equals this. And answer 114. All right, let's see if it works with a gigantic puzzle input. Oh, that was surprisingly fast. Because it's wrong. Great. Okay. Why is it wrong? These negative numbers concern me. Did you already finish it? Part 1 and part 2? Cool. Well, let me think. Figure out what I did wrong. I think it has something to do with the negative numbers, but I'm not sure why. No, I'm still on part 1. Parsed correctly. Ever make a new sequence from the difference at each step of your history. If that sequence because the value increases by 3 each step. This seems to be fine. What's the issue then? I'm debugging something. I'm not sure what's wrong with my code because it's a bit too much to do it all by hand with one of these real case set. And I'm not sure how to modify the small one right away to see what is wrong with possible problematic input. Let's go back to this for a second. And let's go here. And print that. Yeah, see, that seems to be all okay. How can I... How can I shake this up to make it... What if I just throw a negative in there? Oh. Damn it. No, what? What? Excuse me? Why is the answer the same? That was the one that I tried already. Okay, let me think for a second. If not, check zeros. So, if not... Contains... non-zero. For item in nums, if item is not equal to 0, contains looked right. They all go down to 0, so that's fixed. This number is not the right number. Oh, it was the, damn it. Okay. Of course, it would be nice if you had more history included in your report. Surely it's safe to just extrapolate backwards as well, right? For each history, repeat the process of finding differences until the sequence of differences is entirely 0. Then rather than adding a 0 to the end and filling in, add it to the beginning and fill in the new first value. Okay, so we're doing one instead of the other. Rather than adding a 0 to the end, you should instead add a 0 to the beginning, then fill in the first value. Come on. I was triple clicking so hard. So okay, that makes sense. Difference. So we do all of that, the same thing. Then we want to Nikita's at 12455. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. We are doing Advent to Code Day 9. Just started part 2. I'm thinking through what it is I'm trying to read. So we insert a number to the left. Sure. And then we do this number minus this number. Yeah. Okay. So we do first num equals the difference set at I at 0, then insert at 0 the so the difference set at I minus 1 at 0 minus the first num. $15.21.45. Oh no, I want this. -305, -3, 0, and 5. Why is this giving me -10? Excuse me? -3 plus 0 plus 5 is not -10. What? Oh, maybe. I don't know. I think it was, I think it might have been modifying something. I don't know. But this looks like it's working. Cool. Got it. All right. Give me 1 second. Oh, looks like I'm the slow one today. That's okay. All right. Whoops. Wrong thing. We're not playing Age of Empires. Sorry, YouTube. All right. So, what's the puzzle? The puzzle says, take sequences of numbers, find the differences. I think it's called the first differences. And so continue to construct first differences until you get to a sequence of all zeros. And then basically, I don't know, back propagate up the list of sequences, solving for the next ending number, the next extrapolation, they called it, by starting at 0 and then adding it to the last number of the above sequence to get the new in number for that previous sequence. So 0 plus 3 is 3, 3 plus 15 is 18. And then just report this last number. So the top sequence, last extrapolation number. And that was fine. But the problem was in my code was that to check to see when the process terminated, I had this if condition of if the sum of the stuff is equal to 0. Because the example had all positive numbers. I looked at my input data. I even recognized, hey, there's negative numbers in here, but didn't even think that, oh, maybe if I add some positive and negative numbers together, that could also go to 0 without having a sequence of all zeros. So once I debugged that, which took longer than I wanted it to, I just made a quick dirty function to check to see, okay, there's only zeros, or does it contain a non-zero or not? And then it worked. So just a really stupid self-created bug, because the PhD in math can't do arithmetic. Yeah, I tried to take a shortcut and it cost me like 5 minutes. So big dumb. And then the second part, I'm a little disappointed. The second part didn't seem any harder than the first part. The second part was do the same thing, but instead of looking at the end of the sequence, look at the beginning of the sequence. Didn't really seem to change much to the problem in difficulty, in my opinion. The function was the exact same. So how I broke this down is I made a function to find the first differences. I don't know if that's actually what it's called. I feel like that's what it's called. Where you're just looking at the gaps between numbers. So I made a function that does that, pass in a list of numbers, and it returns the first differences. My contains non-zero function. And then a function to just do all of the rest of the stuff. So I pass in a set of numbers. It creates my sequences of first differences up until the point in which it hits a sequence of all zeros. Then go through and do the extrapolation step of appending on the numbers so that you get a new first difference. And then the same thing for part 2, but at the beginning rather than the end. So overall, today was pretty easy. I slowed myself down by taking a shortcut that was mathematically incorrect. But it happens. So pretty happy with today. Didn't stay up super late to solve the problem, so we're still in good shape. We're not pushing the 2, 3, 4 hour mark on days quite yet. So that's going to be it for this video. So thanks everyone for hanging out, for my watching my solution of Advent of Code Day 9 2023, and I look forward to seeing you all on Day 10. Take care, and I will see you all next time.